professional looking handstand starts and ends with a lunge. For a good lunge, we want to make sure that our arms are by our ears, and also we're trying to create a straight line from our hands all the way to our back heel. Another very important part of the lunge is making sure that that front leg has a bent knee. That bent knee is going to help us be able to push off. If it's straight, we can't push and we can't generate any force for our handstand. The next step in our handstand progression is the lunge lever. The lunge lever starts to take your weight from your back foot and it starts to transfer it onto your hands. And it's kind of like a seesaw action. So as soon as your hands go down, your back foot starts to come back up. And then you end in your lunge, just like you would at the end of a handstand. Now when you're going down, what you need to do is make sure as soon as your hands start to go down, your back foot starts to come up. If you start to put your hands all the way down, and then you bring your foot up, you're not going to be transferring your weight, and it becomes really kind of awkward, and it doesn't transfer that weight smoothly. So when you're working, watch how she starts with her hands starting to go down, and as soon as that happens, her back foot starts to come up, and that creates that seesaw effect. One other thing I want you to take a look at is that she maintains a straight line the whole time. So as soon as she's going down, maybe she's somewhere in the middle right here, you're going to notice that she still is maintaining that nice straight line, and that's going to be just tipping all of that weight onto the hands and a little bit of a smoother transition. The next part of our progression is a lunge lever kick. So we're going to be continuing that great lunge lever that we've been doing before. As soon as your hand goes down, your back foot comes up. But at the end, we're just going to add in a little bit of a hop. And sometimes when I describe this, I describe it as a mini handstand, because you are really doing a handstand. All of your weight is going onto your hands, and then you're returning back to your feet. One thing that I want you to pay attention to is how she looks at the beginning and how she looks at the end. If you took a picture of her before she did her little mini handstand and at the end of that mini handstand, you would see the same exact thing. They should be identical. And just to show this a little bit more, what we're going to do is we're going to just check out the feet. So this front leg, we're going to put a circle around it. And this back leg, we're going to put a square around it. What I want you to pay attention to is that those do not switch either. The front leg always stays in the front, and the back leg always stays in the back. The last step of the progression is just to finish the handstand. And the only difference from that last step that we're doing with the lunge lever kick is that you're taking that front leg and you're not just hopping on it, you're bringing it up to that back leg when you're working. She does a really nice job effortlessly coming back into that lunge. And the reason why she's having so much success is because of that straight line that we talked about before, taking that straight line from the back of the heel all the way to the hands. If I stop her at any point through her handstand, you're going to notice that she has that straight line going at some degree. Sometimes it's not perfect, but she's still trying to maintain it no matter where she is in her handstand. And if you're able to maintain that straight line, you're going to be popping yourself back up because it's going to be creating that same seesaw action we were talking about way back in our lunge lever.